And welcome in, everyone. Today everything a bit off the cuff, sadly. I also did not prepare fully the show notes for today. Site is up, but yeah. Got late yesterday, and yeah. Today was the only day this week where I was able to sleep in, so yeah. I took the chance. Okay. But yeah, after the hiatus 2 weeks ago, where we did not have a live stream, back again today with stable internet connection, and everything seems to be working just fine. So yeah, that is also awesome. I hope you all had a good week, and I think even if I only had limited time to prepare topics for today, I think we have quite a few interesting ones, following several topic chains that we had over the past few months. So I think it will be a good show tonight, or today, or whatever time it may be where you're living. Yeah. So yeah, as always, you can find the show notes under the link that I just posted in chat. So it's the article links are not in there yet. I will add those after the stream. So if you want to follow up on any of those topics, feel free to do so afterwards. Yeah. Time was just running out for me today, so I wasn't able to fully prep everything. And yeah. Okay, let's see. Nevertheless, it might be that I still have to change my browser focus. I think I forgot that. So if we go to the show notes for today, where is it? There. Yeah. There we go. So yeah. The topics for today will be yeah, NVIDIA got fined by the SEC for not disclosing their crypto mining profits, but not from the last mining craze, but from the one back in 2018. Yeah, they have to pay a quite hefty fine for that, and yeah, will be interesting to see if they are learning from that for the results for the next year, for 2021 and 2020. And yeah, then there is a move combined between Apple, Google, and Microsoft for password-free sign-in, so a standard for that. Then there are rumors that Apple is finally expanding iPadOS. Then there is news about the impact of current lockdowns in China, and I wanted to briefly address that topic. And a new rumor that Intel might be going to a TSMC for their 14th gen processors. So not the generation that we expect later this year. I don't remember the name actually, but basically the one afterwards, so the 2023 generation. Because basically, you know, Intel has this TikTok approach, so the next one will be a Alder Lake refresh with some updated designs and so some refinements. And then I think the upcoming one is actually Intel's first chiplet approach, so will be interesting to see. And last but not least, I will be discussing Apple's self-service repair program. We covered that in a previous episode. And yeah, I don't reference an article for that one because it's actually all over the internet. So it's and the media and all the responses from reviewers and so on are pretty consistent, and but I think it's a worthwhile discussion topic to go through. So yeah, that's what will be in the episode today. And yeah, let's see. Actually, let me check YouTube individually at the moment, since we had issues with YouTube and Restream with the YouTube and Restream integration on Friday. Oh no, not YouTube and Restream, but Twitch and Restream regarding chat. because I saw the messages that were not related to Twitch chat actually came out fine on the Discord. So yeah, but YouTube also looks fine. Perfect. Okay. So I think we are ready to go into the recording. So if you have suggestions, comments on any of the topics that I'm discussing today, feel free to put them, put questions or comments into the chat. I'll be checking that basically after we go through the recording, and we can do then a Q&A where I go through your questions and comments, and yeah. And of course, if you have certain topics where which I perhaps did not cover, where you want to get my input, feel free. Yeah, the episodes, if you are interested in listening to everything that I'm discussing in audio format, is available on the major podcasting platforms at 8:30 p.m. CEST or 8:30 p.m. whatever summer or wintertime zone we currently have in Germany. So that's the schedule for the audio release. Okay, then let's get started, I would say. Stopping the music, and here comes our obligatory countdown. Which does not seem to work for some reason. Huh. That's too bad. Let me actually switch scenes. Yeah. Okay, but we're still live, so nothing crashed apparently. That's good. Because I was worried for a moment. Okay, then yeah, we do that. Did I mistype? Let me check this. No, PhantomBot is active. Okay, that's weird. Nevertheless. Or did my PhantomBot instance just crash? No, it's still there. Okay, nevertheless, let's get started with the recording. Then I'm missing the countdown, which is always was for me when I'm editing the podcast. Am I not always a nice marker to see when I'm actually starting? And yeah, I don't have that today, but it doesn't matter. Let me put this to the correct spot. Okay. And welcome to my technology podcast. I'm your host, Bastian Noffer, and this is episode 18, recorded on May 8th, 2022, live on stream on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to follow along in the live recording, these normally happen every Sunday, every either Sunday at 2 p.m. CST or CET, depending on what time zone is the current one that applies. And I would like to chat with you, and so feel free to join in. We are always also doing a bit of an introductory section, a outro with also some Q&A and further discussions in case there are questions. And yeah, of course, you can give your input on each individual topic and episode. So I would like to see you in a live recording and in the future. And yeah, let's get to today's topics, which are NVIDIA being fined by the SEC for not disclosing crypto mining sales. So NVIDIA made quite a few profits on crypto mining, and they did not properly disclose that. Our second topic for today is Apple, Google, and Microsoft teaming up for password-free sign-in. Then there is a rumor based on a patent that Apple might be finally expanding iPadOS, which is desperately needed. Then we have impact of current lockdowns in China on basically technology production and releases this year. And we're closing off the news topics with rumors that Intel might be having their 14th gen processors on TSMC instead of their own manufacturing node. And we're going to close off today's episode with a discussion on Apple's self-service repair program. And as always, if you want to follow along with the articles that I'm referencing, you can head over to my blog, bnonet.com, or you can find the link to the show notes in the episode description or in the video description below. If you're watching the video version, and at the current state, the links are not in here due to me not finishing the update in time, but they will be added after the live stream is recorded, and when the show notes for the podcast release go up, they will be definitely in there. So don't worry about that. You will be able to follow along. And yeah, let's get right into our first topic of today. And that's NVIDIA getting fined $5.5 million to settle SEC charges over GPU sales to crypto miners. And the interesting thing is, based on the situation in the past couple of months, you might be thinking this would be related to 2020, 2021, but this is actually still dating back to 2018. So this is for fiscal year 2018, which 2017 and 2018 was basically the first big crypto mining craze for Bitcoin mining, which was at that point in time still possible and lucrative on GPUs, which is no longer the case today. Basically, Bitcoin mining nowadays is fully done on ASICs, and yeah, Bitcoin mining is not lucrative with GPUs anymore. But that was not the case in 2018, and so prices hiked quite a bit. When I think back to that point in time, I bought a 1070 in late 2017, if I remember correctly, and that card actually broke, and I had to return it to the manufacturer, and they actually almost did not give me a card back, because when I originally bought the card, it was about 400 euros. And at the time where I had to return the card for RMA, the price was up at about 700 euros, and the local shop here, they actually did not want to give me a replacement, or yeah, the only option would have been basically getting my money back, which of course was not that nice, but I lucked out and I got a card back at some point, and yeah. The rest of that is history, and yeah, we saw similar things happen with GPUs in the last few months due to the efficiency of Ethereum mining on GPUs, and it's still a thing, and that might change when we have the Ethereum changes, which are currently now planned for August, I think, where they also where they will basically change the schema how Ethereum is created, and that will also end that. And combined with all the prices going back down, and with GPUs, you can basically almost get GPUs again for prices at yeah, at MSRP or almost MSRP, and so it might not be long until eBay and other auction sites get flooded with old mining cards. But that's something to be wary about a bit, because there is a big difference between the Bitcoin mining of 2017 and 2018 and the Ethereum mining that is done nowadays. Because the Bitcoin mining was reliant on the GPU core, and the Ethereum mining is reliant on the memory. And there is no experience, no knowledge about what long-term effects this long-term stress on the memory chips on GPUs actually has for longevity of the cards. And I can tell you from my own experience, the Bitcoin mining was not that bad, because I actually bought a ITX variant of the 1070 for my VR and LAN PC, which is built in a Sentry 2.0 ITX case. And that card worked completely flawless. I think I bought it in 2019 or 20. Yeah, I think I bought it in 2019. And that card ran without issues 2 years in my system. And I actually sold it last year when I upgraded to a RX 6700 XT for that particular system. And yeah, basically that card has now a third owner, and it's hopefully still running strong as it was in my system. And yeah, so to go back to the story here, this is overall pretty interesting that NVIDIA is now being fined for the 2018 sales, because there were also prior rumors in regards to NVIDIA not properly disclosing also their interactions with crypto miners in 2020, 2021. So it will be interesting to see if NVIDIA learns from that, or if they're trying to not to disclose their crypto sales in the next fiscal years. So yeah, something to watch out for, and still we should be aware about what's going on with crypto, with the impact, and yeah, let's hope that Ethereum and so on will go to ASIC soon, because overall the ASIC miners are much more energy efficient, and yeah, they have less ecologic impact. Basically, all these mining farms with GPUs, they are eating up megawatts like nothing. And as GPUs also become more and more power hungry, that impact will raise and not go down. Yeah, that's that topic, and let's go to the next. This is also on Engadget, but you can find this on our other sites as well. This is a news that Apple, Google, and Microsoft are committing for end-to-end password-free sign-ins. You nowadays have these features basically in each individual ecosystem. So if you have an iPhone, a Mac, or an iPad, those can share passwords and sign-ins with each other. You have that with Android and Chromebooks. I don't know if Google, if there's something with Android and Windows already, but there's definitely something with the Windows devices where you can do similar stuff. And now they basically want to make password-free login possible, basically ecosystem agnostic. So they are joining the FIDO Alliance, and which is also supported by the World Wide Web Consortium. So you will be able to use your phone to unlock your applications on your other devices. Perhaps there will be also stuff like Wi-Fi password sharing, which you can nowadays do with Apple devices, even if they are not in your own iCloud account. But for example, if you and your friend have your friend's iCloud account referenced, and you were, for example, together in our Airbnb, you enter the Wi-Fi password on your device, and you can share it over to their devices wirelessly, and yeah, that makes life a lot easier. And since it's all end-to-end encrypted, it also is basically more secure and less error prone, and therefore a pretty nice approach. And it's great to see that we're getting interoperability in that particular space, because this is now something that which you're not forced into a particular ecosystem anymore. And yeah, it's a right step when you look at the whole regulatory landscape, like we discussed in the previous episodes, where interoperability is getting more and more enforced also by legislatures, and yeah, this is an overall win if it's done properly. So let's see what comes out of it. I will definitely be monitoring this development throughout the next few months and years, and let's hope we will see that that improve soon. Next up, this is an article on Mac rumors on a patent that is actually suggesting that Apple is working on a mode for iPads that basically gets enabled when you dock an iPad to a keyboard like the Magic Keyboard, and then basically the iPad transforms from a touch-based, primary touch-based device to a yeah, basically desktop device like an like traditional Mac OS. And these rumors, due to the patent that has been disclosed, are, let's say, much wanted and anticipated, especially now that you have M1 chips in basically the top 3 iPad models. So you have an M1 in the iPad Air, and the 11-inch iPad Pro, and in the 12-inch iPad Pro. And those devices have basically the same performance as an M1 MacBook Air. So people are asking, for good reasons, why are we not allowed to run applications like Final Cut Pro on an iPad, which runs well on an M1. I did my video editing last year basically solely on an M1 Mac Mini, and it worked flawlessly, especially when you were working with 1080p footage. And yeah, the only limitations were when you were really working with a lot of effects and so on. Actually, the M1 ran better than my previous 2018 MacBook Pro, which of course was still Intel based, but it had a dedicated graphics card, 32 gigabytes of dedicated system memory, and so on and so forth. And yeah, basically the Mac Mini did this silent, and that was just impressive. So I did not miss my Intel machine at all, and I was lucky that I made the switch early and got to sell on my MacBook while it was still worth something, since the new MacBook Pros were not out yet. And yeah. So yeah, this is will be interesting to see what Apple is doing with iPadOS, because the current scope of iPadOS is just not enough anymore for these devices. And other outlets commented rightfully that Apple is basically not bringing anything enticing to the iPad lineup at the moment. A lot of people, if you were looking for a iPad with ProMotion and the whole spiel of the iPad Pro functionality for a good price, grab a 2018 model, which is of course 4 years old, but you get those for pretty good prices already. And you have basically the same display, for example, in the 11-inch model that you get in the current generation. The case is basically the same. There might be some improvements in regards to the camera. And for what iPadOS can do right now, you don't need more performance than what the 2018 iPad Pro delivers. It's already enough. And yeah, basically the M1 in iPads is basically more or less going to waste. And it will be interesting to see what Apple does. So we're roughly a month away from Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, where we will see the new releases of iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, tvOS, and perhaps I missed some OS from them. Yeah, so it's quite a large palette of systems that they have now, basically all running the same core, and it will be interesting to see what they are showing off at WWDC in early June. We will probably talk about it in one of the upcoming podcasts, and especially if my gut feeling comes true and they are actually showing off their XR headset this year with their next edition in regards to operating systems, which would be this rumored ROS or Reality OS. So let's see what's coming out of there. But Apple has to do something in regards to iPadOS to make it worthwhile. So I am myself, for example, using an previous generation iPad Air with the Magic Keyboard, and it's a great combination, but this does not replace a MacBook for me at all. I tried last year to, when I had the Mac Mini, to basically see if I could just use an iPad for the stuff that I do on the go, but that did not work out, and that led to me selling the Mac Mini last year, end of last year, and grabbing one of the new MacBook Pros. Since I also do some video work for a friend of mine for some projects, which requires also some animations and filters sometimes, and when a project got a bit more complex, especially when you were using 4K footage, the Mac Mini was struggling a bit. It was not bad, it was still usable, but I value my time, and since this is all side project stuff, it was well worth for me to make the switch, and I was able to sell on the Mac Mini basically almost without a loss, and combined with the money that I got from the MacBook earlier in that year, that was quite good strategy that I had last year for this upgrade cycle. So yeah, that's that topic. Then we're getting to the current situation regarding lockdowns in China. This is only one example. This story is also on Mac Rumors. This is discussing that Foxconn abruptly had to halt hiring for iPhone, their main iPhone production facility, since that location's city with 11 million people got locked down again. So that was Zhengzhou, China. I also know that Shanghai is in lockdown for quite a while. For those following my VR streams, you will know that I have issues with my head strap from my Pimax headset. And I reached out to the Pimax support, which basically was flawless in regards to communication. I basically had a solution worked out with them within 2 days, and that was really quick, and I appreciate what the support did. But they have the issue they would have to ship their replacement strap from Shanghai, and Shanghai is also on lockdown for weeks now. And so this article here discusses this all might be impacting shipments of devices this year. And since these lockdowns sometimes seem to be very long, I don't even know if the lockdown in Shenzhen has been lifted by now, but it had been going for weeks. At the point where I was in touch with the Pimax support, and I actually did not get an update yet. They are either still in lockdown or have such a backlog that I will probably have to wait quite a bit for just a replacement strap, which is basically a not really a parcel. You can actually put that in an envelope and just mail it. But it's a different story with full electronics devices like MacBooks, iPhones, notebooks, TVs, and so on and so forth, because these are cities and locations where a lot of electronic products are made. So Foxconn is not only building stuff for Apple, they are building stuff for a lot of companies. And will be interesting to see how this further impacts the availability of electronics and also prices, because stuff will become scarce and prices will rise again. In combination with the current inflation, that's not an ideal situation, and it's just something to be aware about. So if you have to do some upgrades for your needs, either personal or for your business, it would be a good idea to look into doing those investments sooner rather than later, because the probability that prices go up is very high right now, and that basically throughout not a particular category but a lot of categories of electronics. And that gets us to the last news story of today, and that is the rumor that Intel might be going TSMC for their 14th gen Meteor Lake CPUs that are probably slated for late next year or early 2024 release. And does it actually say here? So basically what the here it basically says that Meteor Lake is slated to launch in 2023. And why this story is interesting is Intel is heavily investing into their fabs at the moment, and they have been behind in regards to the manufacturing process in the past. And I think all the shortages in regards to equipment and are also starting to impact in Intel, because they originally said that Meteor Lake would be on their Intel 4 fab, and so and this was even in a recent earnings call where the Intel CEO basically also confirmed that again. But now, due to what's going on right now, Intel is looking into doing this, the chiplets that will be part of Meteor Lake. So this will be Intel's first chiplet design CPU or SoC, and they're now investigating, basically going on to TSMC's 5 nanometer process, which is currently primarily used by Apple for the A15 and the M series SoCs. And since Apple is slated to go to the TSMC's, I think, 4 nanometer node or 3 nanometer node next year, basically those capacities become available at TSMC's 5 nanometer node, and Intel could just get in there and get their stuff fabbed by TSMC, and therefore not delaying their production and product launch. So with all the shortages going on right now, I don't remember if that was a video or an article that I saw a few weeks back, but there's also basically now with Intel creating more fabs and so on, that alleviates the capacity thing on the fab side of things, but the company set up producing basically the silicone. I don't know how those things are called properly again, but basically the pure blocks of silicone where basically chips are then or basically wafers are then cut from. They are not; those companies are not expanding their capacity. Besides, more wafers being needed, and I think I've already mentioned that on a previous episode. TMSC is itself is basically booked out in regards to supplies till 2025, 2026. But since Intel was planning to do this themselves, they have their own allocation, they have their own stock of silicon, and they can just supply that to TSMC and use their fab capacity. So that's why this is actually an option for Intel at this point. So another thing to track in the upcoming months, and it will be interesting to see. But next we have, in regards to the CPUs, we have what's coming up next is of course Intel's 13th gen. I think that is Rocket Lake, if I am remembering correctly. And of course, AMD's 7000 series CPUs are also launching this year, and it will be interesting to see how everything is developing in that regard. Then probably in the second half of this year, we will see Apple's M2 and whatever they are doing with the Mac Pro, and so it will be interesting. It will be an interesting second half of 2022. And that concludes our news topics. And I am now going to our discussion topic for today, and which is the newly minted Apple self-service repair program that has launched for iPhones, starting with the iPhone 12. And I can only recommend checking out the videos about that on YouTube. I'm not recommending a specific one, but it's hilarious to see what Apple has done here. Basically, what they are doing here is they are you can basically rent from Apple the equipment that a Genius Bar member would use for a screen replacement. You can of course also buy it, and that's for a private person. This doesn't make any sense because I think if you buy all the machines, you have to pay about €1,000 or something, and or $1,000, and yeah, for someone who just wants to replace his iPhone screen, that doesn't make any sense. But since you're getting those particular machines, those get delivered in Pelican cases, and that's totally nuts, if you ask me. And most of the other media outlets that I have seen who checked those out, they all said it is total overkill. And the most difficult thing about this whole self-service repair program is you're actually not really saving money. The calculations that I've seen was basically that when you also return everything and the rented materials and so on, you pay actually a bit more than if you would just take your phone, go to an Apple store, and get it repaired at a Genius Bar. And that doesn't make sense. And guides like those from iFixit, who also provide the proper tools for removing the screen and so on and so forth, they're much cheaper and much easier to do with less equipment. And yeah, it's nice that Apple does this, but I don't think that this is something that is something a consumer would do. And so it's a nice thing that Apple provides the tools and the guides, because the guides that are coming with the tools are the manuals that Genius Bar members are using to repair the phones. And providing those manuals and tools to repair shops who are basically replacing screens from iPhones day in and day out, that's something that makes sense. But this is not really self-service. And it's, as I mentioned in the previous episode, it's good to see a step into the right direction, but this step is only a quarter or half of the way to what we need to see, because yeah, for almost €300 or dollars, well, probably it's €300 if you do it in Germany. It's you could actually go ahead and just buy a complete iPhone. Probably not from the same generation, but then it's perhaps an iPhone 11. But you can get a full working phone for the same amount of money, and that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know from experience, screen replacement here right now with professionally done, not in the Apple Store, but by a local service brand, costs about €100 materials and labor included. So it's a third of what the Apple program costs. And yeah, it's professionally done, and does make sense. So I hope that this is only Apple's first step, and that there will be more support in regards to self-service repair. But it does not really make me hopeful. It would be nice to see, but I really doubt it. Other companies show how it can be done. Like now, Valve with the Steam Deck working, or also with the Index working with iFixit, who are really pros in regards to repair guides. I have used iFixit guides for repairs on Macs for years, and those guys are amazing. I'm using their tools myself, and it's just well done. And yeah, we have to see how this develops. So the drive to self-service repair has started, but we are still in the infancy, and we have to see where it goes. But the way Apple did it is just not the right way, and it's hilarious when you think you want to get a screen replacement, and you're receiving two Pelican cases of stuff to do the repair. And yeah. I can just recommend checking out those videos on YouTube. Basically, just enter Apple self-service repair, and they will be popping up. There have been multiple that I've seen, and yeah. And yeah, that closes also my discussion topic for today. So thank you very much for listening and watching. And yeah, the next live recording will be on... Let me actually check the date. I don't know it right now. The next live recording will be on May 22nd at 2 p.m. CEST. And feel free to join in either on YouTube or on Twitch for that recording. The audio version of the podcast goes live always at 8:30 p.m. the same day. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, the show notes can be found on my blog at bnonet.com, including all the links to the articles that I referenced today. And hey, I'm drawing a blank right now. But that happens when you do record stuff live. Yeah, so of course, and you will find the link to the show notes also in the episode and video description below. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And for those still watching this live, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the chat for our Q&A session, which we are always doing after the recording. So see you next time. So that was the episode for this week. I hope the topics were interesting, and we're following along quite a few threads in the tech industry right now as part of the podcast. And yeah, feel free in case you have questions or comments. And yeah, if not, I will be closing down the stream very soon. And yeah, I also have to do a quick shout out because I had a company reach out to me a few weeks ago in regards to trying out their new product. And that is, let me quickly try to find it. As I said, today everything is a bit off the cuff. So the product is called Magic Mind. It's basically a supplement that you can take instead of relying on energy drinks. And I can quickly show that here. So that's what I'm talking about right now. And yeah, I got sent by them a test pack for this. And actually, since we had a late session yesterday evening, I actually tried it today, and I think it actually worked. So when I was having my breakfast today, basically they're saying that you should take this alongside your morning beverage, and I actually don't know, my mind was totally foggy this morning, and so I thought, yeah, let's try it, and I have to say at least I think it worked. Of course, this is first time I tried it, and it was pretty nice. It was basically pretty. It's a very organic based product. It's basically no real chemicals, and you really feel that it's more like, when you drink it, it's more like a smoothie from its consistency, and it did not actually taste bad. So, and I will definitely use it again if the need arises, and perhaps even we can cooperate for supporting the podcast. So we have to see that. But yeah, overall, that is just a first impression of mine. Nothing paid. I just wanted to give them a shout out today, and since I actually tried it finally, and yeah. So, if there are no further questions, let me actually check YouTube individually again, because I don't know. No, there was nothing in the YouTube chat. Okay. Then, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And yeah, next stream will be probably on Tuesday, which will be another Beat Saber session at 6 p.m. probably. But really have to see in regards to my stream schedule. There will be changes upcoming because of the return to work. So not to return to work, but return to the office. And I'm currently considering of permanently going to the office 2 days a week, and that will, for the next foreseeable time, probably Mondays and Tuesdays. And depending on appointments and so on, I will not be able to hold my Tuesday scheduled slot. So I'm currently thinking about where to move the Beat Saber sessions, because I want to continue them. They are a lot of fun, and the workout is good workout, so that comes on top of it. And I got used to that, having that workout twice a week, and I don't want to lose it. So streaming schedule is definitely going to change. As I already mentioned on a previous stream, I had to already cancel the Monday sessions for Star Citizen, which I want to come back to. And there will be other gaming streams in the future as well. And I am also considering at the moment to probably split the gaming related stuff and the podcast. That thought manifested only yesterday, because I think the gaming content and the tech content does not really match. And yeah, I have to see how that is going to play out. I'm not sure how to implement it yet, but you will be informed over Discord or Twitter, and of course my blog, depending on what is going to change. So if you want to follow me on one of those channels, please feel free to do so. You see all the information here. There are all the links. Or if you are on YouTube, you can find all the relevant links in the video description below. And on Twitch, you can also just check the description or the tiles below, and there's everything linked. And yeah, I would like to hear from you through all of those channels, if you have feedback for me. And yeah, that's it then for today. Thanks again everyone for watching, and have a nice rest of the Sunday, which is a really nice Sunday, at least here where I'm living. Sun is out, finally. Spring is here, it's getting warm, and I hope I can edit the audio version pretty quickly so I can catch some outdoor time on my balcony this afternoon before I have a roleplay session with a few friends of mine, which if you want to check that out, that also goes live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. I think I actually have the playlist. I think I have a playlist for that on my channel. It's German though, so it's not in English. So if you're German and you're interested in RPG in roleplay, that could be something that you could be interested in. So here's a playlist. It's based on a custom campaign that our host has basically created himself, and we are now I think the latest episode is missing here. I think we are now at recording today episode 25 or 26, I don't remember. And yeah, so that's also quite a lot of content. So if you're interested in stuff like that, feel free to explore that. And yeah, that leaves me to say again, thank you for watching and listening, and goodbye everyone.